Hello to all, and welcome to a very, very special and a very sacred video. If you're here, you are guided here for a very special purpose and by a very higher purpose. My true spiritual name is Heart Song, and I come here to speak to you of the truth of all things, the truth of all things for the light and the love of all humanity. This is to all my brothers and sisters. This is to the sacred ones. This is to all the spiritual warriors, the spiritual light workers out there, everyone who does their part on a daily basis to keep themselves balanced, to keep themselves light and filled with the only true power that there ever will be in this world and beyond. This is one of the very first videos that I'm going to post, and followed by very many more. This is a monumental video for me. This is a long time coming. It is time for me to finally speak out, to speak my truth, so that all may know the true nature of our reality, of this dimension that we live in, this third dimensional plane of existence, and of space and time itself. I have been blessed to live many, many lifetimes, and I've been blessed to know about some of these lifetimes, enough to know that I spent a lot of those lifetimes studying as a hermit, basically, studying and absorbing this much needed knowledge for this very special and sacred time that we are in right now. So I will give you a little background on myself. At the age of 16 through, I would say, 24, I went through a series of intense spiritual awakenings. And those awakenings have led me to where I am right now, and to who I am today. So those awakenings were extremely intense, and because they were as intense as they were at such a young age, I had a hard time assimilating this information, this high level information that was coming through. So it took me a while. It's taken me actually a very long time to get to this point that I am at today, a lot longer than I would have liked. But all things in their time, and the timing is actually perfect right now. So I do not lament over that. I did for many years, but no more. So I am here now, and ready to give the gift of what I have to offer to all of those who are ready to hear the messages. So I am a messenger. I am a messenger of light and love for this realm, for all of humanity. And I have come here to give of myself selflessly, for those, again, who are ready to hear it. So this series of spiritual awakenings that I went through was so profound that I didn't realize how profound it was until much later in my life. And to an extent, I did realize in the moment how profound they really were. I just didn't realize why it was happening to me in the moment. It was so intense. It was so profound. It was so transforming for me, and it's all at such a young age. I was in high school when I was going through these spiritual awakenings, and I didn't really know what to do with the information. I just didn't I couldn't fully grasp why I was going through what I was going through, why I was going through it then, and what I was supposed to do with the information. Like, who was I supposed to tell? What was I supposed to really do with it? So it wasn't until much later that I fully realized, why I was given the information and really why I'm here, and it has everything to do with my life purpose, and not just my life purpose, but our life's purpose as a collective, as a whole, uh, as humanity as a whole. So part of the spiritual awakenings that I went through was the full realization that, and this was through a dream, so I guess I'll start with the dream because it was an intense dream. It was one of the most intense, lucid, and vivid dreams that I've ever had in my life. The dream basically was me standing on a rickety at the top of a rickety scaffolding, uh, and this thing was swaying because there was a storm, and I was just in the middle of this storm, and there was a bunch of wind swirling and dirt and dust, and uh, you know it was just super intense, this windstorm. And I remember standing firmly at the top of this swaying rickety scaffolding, and I'm actually afraid of heights, believe it or not, um, and with no fear. And there was a crowd of people below, and a mass amount of people. And I remember shouting something into the wind, and at first I couldn't hear really what I was saying to the people. Um, but later, obviously, it became clear. But off in the distance, this was the one of the interesting parts. Off in the distance was basically a figure, a Jesus-like, Christ-like figure, and a giant-sized figure, basically, way larger than the people in the crowd. Um, and all of a sudden, out of the clouds came a downward spiraling cloud that came down and spiraled downward around this Christ-like figure, Jesus-like figure, until it hit the ground. And of course, our dreams are very symbolic, and our subconscious mind will use symbolism to communicate with our conscious mind. And so later on, I did a lot of interpretation of this dream. But when I could finally hear what I was saying to the people, this is what I was saying to the people. I was saying that love is the only thing that is real. Love is the only thing that is real, and everything else is an illusion. And I kept screaming this. I kept yelling this to the people over and over again. Love is the only thing that is real. Everything else is an illusion. And when I woke up from that dream, that message was fully realized within myself. Fully realized within myself. And from that message came a massive amount of spiritual growth and learning. Learning, and so quickly that most people don't learn these life lessons that I learned, and have these full realizations that I had in multiple lifetimes. And I had them at that age, in like a lightning bolt. I was hit with this information. I was given this information. Again, partly because, and partly possibly because I have amassed such information from prior lifetimes, but also because I came into this lifetime consciously with a purpose, with a mission. And I've always known what that mission and that purpose was. Even if I didn't fully know it, I've always known it. And so this dream was just more of a trigger, more of a confirmation of why I've come here and who I really am. So that dream, again, really started a grand journey for me, a grand spiritual journey with a lot of soul searching and a lot of self-actualization. And this was a time period, again, I was in high school, where I was going through mass amount of growth. I'm in puberty, um, going through a lot anyway, but I was going through a lot of self-actualization process. This whole process that I was going through was about me learning about who I really was and why I'm really here. Extremely intense for a kid, in high school to go through this stuff. And it was extremely intense because I really had nobody um, my age to share it with, to talk to about it, and no one that would be able to relate, that's for sure. So that dream, further interpreting that dream, I realized that we as people, we as human beings, we as humanity have all the love we will ever need right inside of ourselves. We are connected infinitely and eternally with Source, with the source of all things, which is unconditional love. I don't know if you believe in a God or gods or creators or what you believe in, but I believe in intelligence, a creator, a grand creator or creators, and they love us unconditionally. They gave us this earth to live on. All I have to do is look around myself and look at all of creation to see all the beauty and all the love that the One has put into the earth and has put into us as a people. That's all I have to do. That's all the confirmation I need. That's all the confirmation I've ever needed. Is just to simply look around and see the beauty. And the truth of it all comes clear to me. That dream and that realization that we have all the love we will ever need right inside ourselves, and we have no need to look outside of ourselves for that love from anyone else or anything else. To me, still in my life, is one of the most empowering realizations and spiritual beliefs that I have. And I've gone way beyond belief in my life into a true knowingness that this is the truth. This is the truth, not just my truth, but the truth of all things. I know that in my heart. Now you might not know that, and I understand that. We are all on our own path, our own paths, and we all come to the realization of certain things in our own time. And that's perfect. That's perfect. You are where you are right now because you are supposed to be where you're at. Part of it by your own design, your own choice, the choices you've made, the things you've attracted into your life, the people, the things you've chosen to have around you. But mostly because you chose in a prior lifetime, before you reincarnated into this lifetime, to be where you are right now for a very special reason. And it's all learning. It's all a grand learning experience. So there's no judgment. You shouldn't have any judgment towards yourself or towards others and their path. Everybody is unique. Everybody is different. Everybody is special. And that is wonderful. That's a gift and that's a miracle. So just know that you are where you are for a very good reason. I am right here, right now, speaking to you because this is where I'm supposed to be and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. There is no accident. There is no coincidence that I am here now. doing exactly what I'm doing, because this is why I came here. I came here to be a messenger. I came here to be a beacon of light unto humanity. I came here to give of myself selflessly. I came here to be of service. I've always known my true purpose. So it's no coincidence, it's no accident, it's synchronicity. As we dive more into the power of unconditional love and loving yourself, you will start to become you will start to be in a more synchronistic place in your life. You will begin to live a life of synchronicity where things just flow and things just happen the way they're supposed to. And synchronicity really is about being in sync. It's about being in the flow and being in the alignment of your life. There's only one way to be in perfect alignment with your life and your true purpose, your higher purpose in life, your divine purpose. And that is to be in harmony, to be in peace, to be in love, to be in love with all things, to be in love with yourself, to have a healthy relationship with yourself. Only then can you have a healthy relationship with others. Only then can you love another. Only then can you be available for another. But it starts with you. It starts with us. It starts with our families. It starts with our loved ones. It starts with us as a community. And it goes out from there. And then it starts as a county, and as a state, and as a country, and as a world. But it only starts with us first. So if we are in alignment, and we know who we are, and we are in perfect love with ourselves, then all things are possible. All things are possible. I gained a tremendous amount of knowledge and experience from a lot of the soul searching that I did and the self-actualization that I did when I was younger. It was amazing. And I grew by leaps and bounds in such a short amount of time. And that is possible, and only possible when you are in the flow, when you are in alignment, perfect alignment with the universe, with the divine. And when you are, all things come to you with ease and grace. All things come to you in perfect ways, with perfect peace and perfect harmony and perfect love. That is the beauty. That is the true beauty and splendor of life, of the life we are supposed to be really living, not the life they tell us to live. And when I say they, I'm talking about everything that's not those things, everything that's outside of ourselves, whether it be false religions or society or the media or social media. Anything outside of ourselves that tries to dictate and tell us who we really are is what I'm talking about. Those are the things that take you out of the flow. Those are the things that are deceptive. Those are the lies. Those are the things they want you to believe about yourself that just aren't true. The opposite of everything they're saying is the truth. So just know that. Just know that. We are all powerful beings, all powerful spiritual beings having a human experience, first and foremost. And that is the truth. That is the truth. And that right there, my friends, is a big one. That they do not want us to remember who we really are and why we are really here. That's a big one. That's a big one. So I'm talking about a lot of things, a lot of large spiritual concepts that I'm not really breaking down, and I won't break down in this video. But in future videos, I promise I will dissect and deconstruct a lot of the concepts I'm talking about to you. because they are very lofty. Um, and and I realized that. So bear with me. Being my first video, I wanted to kind of throw a lot at you guys, but also give you a thorough overall background of who I am and where I've come from and why I'm here in the first place, like what I have to offer you guys out there. So, um, these spiritual awakenings that I had, that I still have awakenings, and I'm still awakening. That's a never ending process. That's a never ending process for all of us. Life is a grand learning experience and a grand journey. And so these awakenings continue to happen for me. Um, that was the beginning for me, so they were extremely intense because the angels really had their hands on me. Not like they don't now. They have their hands on me now more than ever. They do. But then they were really, they just wanted me to get off to a really, really powerful start. And then, so they really jump kicked things for me. And so it was just an awesome, awesome experience. And I'm so grateful for it and grateful for all the guidance and the protection that I've ever had and still have, of course. But that dream and a lot of series of dreams that I had, I used to keep a dream journal because I would remember 3 or 4, sometimes 5 different dreams a night. And when I say different dreams, I mean themes. You know, we have themes to our dreams, and so I would remember like 4 or 5 different major themes and dreams. So I would wake up and I would immediately write down, all of these dreams and whatnot. And I still have very powerful and awesome dreams. Not as many as I used to have, or maybe I don't remember as many of the themes that I used to have. Um, but they still guide me in my life, and so I pay very close attention to my dreams, and I believe that you should too. That is definitely my advice to all of the spiritual light workers out there, because we are guided very very strongly through our dreams. And I wouldn't be here today without my subconscious mind, without those dreams really, really guiding me. So really, truly pay attention to your dreams, and I recommend keeping a dream journal. It's fascinating what you can go back and look at and discover and again just realize and learn more about yourself through that technique alone. I'm going to talk more about dreams. Not sure if I'll talk more about dreams in this video, but definitely in future videos, because that has a lot to do with our awakenings and the key to our awakenings. So going back to these key dreams, that dream about love being the only true, real thing out there, and that everything else is an illusion. I woke up and I just was so profoundly changed from that dream, and I realized, like, I just fully realized on a deeper level that message. And so when I really started just kind of really let that sink in, I looked at life, my whole world was changed. And again, here I am, 17, 18, maybe at that time when I had that dream. And it so profoundly changed me that I couldn't help but look at everything, this whole realm, this whole third dimensional plane of existence that we are in differently. And I just really began to see how much is an illusion, that everything is an illusion, that nothing is real. The only thing that is real and true, the only thing that really matters is unconditional love. Unconditional love. Now, not to segue, but I'm just going to tell you real quick that those who speak about unconditional love are the ones who need to learn the most about it. And so I'm pointing the finger directly at myself because I know this for a fact. I speak of unconditional love quite a bit. I also practice it as much as I can, but I have a lot to learn. We all do. It's a grand learning experience. And I believe that we can reach a state that where we are just imbued and immersed and filled and enshrined with so much unconditional love that, and I know this, I have a knowingness about this, that when we are in that state of being where we are just totally filled and imbued with unconditional love, we can do anything. We are all powerful. All things are possible. And nothing, and I mean nothing, can harm us. Nothing can hurt us. Nothing fear-based can affect us, because it's the complete opposite. It's the complete opposite of the state of being that we are in. And it is a vibrational frequency. It is a matrix. It is a code that we hold within us. It's in our makeup. It is within us. And the Creator created us with this code because we are made from it. We are made from unconditional love. We are made from the Creator's unconditional love. So we are unconditional love. That is our natural state. See, that's our natural state, and that's our natural being. And all of love, all of life, and all of life is unconditional love. And so that is the natural flow and the natural state of love. And that's what it's supposed to be. In this third dimensional plane of existence, because we have the heaviness of the earth plane, right? Of this dimension, things get a little, things get heavier, things get a little harder, because we're dealing with other factors, earthly factors. Hold on one second. Let me close that up. Somebody pulled up in their car and is shining all over me, but that's good. I enjoy being imbued in light. That's what it's all about. Because we were created from unconditional love, and that's supposed to be the natural order and flow of life, even here, as hard as it can be, because we are electromagnetic, that is the way it is supposed to be. It's tough to attain that state of unconditional love, but it's possible. And we've had many prophets before us that have done that. Jesus and Muhammad and Gandhi and Mother Teresa and all these great leaders and prophets. And I could go on. The list is huge. They were able to attain these states of unconditional love, and they were able to heal others because they were so clear within themselves, because they were so imbued with the very force of the universe itself that they could do anything. They could do all things. Any miracle you can think of. Heal the sick. Raise the dead. All matters of healing. I know. Okay? As far as raising the dead, honestly, people, I don't know about that one. Okay? But I have helped heal the sick myself. So I know for a fact that it's possible. Even before that, even before I knew I was a healer and I had the power to heal, I knew it was possible. I not only have a spiritual background, but I was raised predominantly Christian, and I went to church for many, many years. But I always knew there was a truth to Christianity, a truth, a fundamental, unshakable truth. And that is the truth. That is the truth right there, that this man came here as a messenger, imbued with such unconditional love that he had just a massive amount of higher knowledge, more than people around him at that time. And so he was able to bring this high level information to these people and give them this knowledge that they just had no idea what he was talking about half the time. That's why he spoke in parables to many of the people and to his own disciples, because that's the only way they could really understand what he was saying or relate even. So, and that's the only way he knew how to speak to them in somewhat layman terms so that they could understand and learn from him as well. So, that state of unconditional love, we all have the power to attain that. And that is one of the other fundamental truths, not only just in Christianity, but all the religions. That's what they have in common. All the religions have it right and have it wrong. But I have always been able to see the truth in all the religions, the good in all the religions, the purity in all the religions, not all the fear-based information that's within them all as well. So that information keeps us from knowing who we really are. So anything that keeps you from knowing who you really are is not good for you. It's not healthy. It's not natural. It's not from unconditional love. So that's the truth. I'll tell you that right now. If you have any doubts about anything, I don't care what you're studying. I study astrology. I study the tarot. I've studied many different, I study numerology. I study anything that helps me to bring me closer to who I am, because the closer to who I really am, the closer I am to Source, the closer I am to God, the closer I am to the Grand One, the Great One, the all-powerful One. It brings me closer to the One. So if it brings me closer to the One, it is healthy for me, it's freeing for me, it's empowering for me. It helps me to learn about who I really am and why I'm really here. My true purpose in life. Because why else are we really here, people? Why else are we really here? We're here to learn. We're here to help one another. And we're here to grow. We're here to expand. That's why all of us are here. And we've all signed up, whether we realize it or not. We all signed up for this. We all signed up for it. We all agreed ahead of time to come and incarnate at a certain time, at a certain hour, at a certain place, where the planets were going to be, the stars were going to be in alignment at a certain time, so that we would have the experience, the life experience that we are having right now, to clear karma, past life karma, present life karma, to help those that we did not help in the past, to learn our lessons, to learn grand life lessons, multiple grand life lessons, so that we could grow, so that we could help others that we didn't help in the past. If we were greedy in a past life, we came here to be selfless. If we were cruel in a past life, we came here to learn kindness and love. If we were warring in a past life, we came here to learn peace and harmony in this lifetime. And if we were out of balance in a past lifetime, then we've come here to learn balance, to be in balance, to be in harmony with all things. So there's a reason that we are here, and we all have signed up. So just know that right from the get-go. I am currently reading a book. It's called Messages from the Masters by Brian Weiss, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, Brian Weiss. Messages from the Masters. And this man has spent many, many years living on the right side of his brain. And he is a psychologist and psychotherapist, and he went through decades of just schooling and studying and just scientific research and and of course helping others, individuals, couples, you name it. But it wasn't till he helped a person who had a past life experience and started to bring up past lives to him that he began his own awakening, his own spiritual awakening, and began to go down his own true spiritual path. So now I think this is the third book he wrote, that he's written. And it's a fascinating read. And to be quite honest, I don't meet very many people who really get a lot of the concepts that I'm speaking about. And now there's a lot of people out there that do get it. Don't get me wrong. They do. Of course they do. Now more than ever, because of the great awakening that's happening on this earth. And I've come here to speak about this great awakening, and this is part of it. But the fact that this man was just a scientific, strictly logical, right-brained, scientific believer only, left-brained, scientific believer only, and then had this experience and now is open and awakened to everything I've spoken about and more, is a testament to the times that we are in, a testament to the age of change, great change that we are in, because it's just fascinating to me. And I'm not surprised at all, but it does stem from our past lives and reincarnation. Even the Bible and Christianity very lightly touch on reincarnation. Jesus himself talks about reincarnation. He talks about being other people, just in different forms, but being the same person, basically. And what he was talking about is his spiritual body, his very essence, the very core, our soul, being the same, but being in a different form, a different body, right? Having a different name, even, but being the same person. And he talks about that in many places in the Bible, and in reference, and in different scripture. So that's fascinating for me. Theologians, I'm sure they know all about that, if they're true spiritual theologians. But and there's a lot to that as well. But this man, Brian Weiss, the fact that he had such an awakening, such an epiphany, it changed his whole outlook on his practice. Now he does past life regression psychotherapy. Now he's a past life regressionist. It's fascinating. It's fascinating because he's really, really able to help people, help to really heal them, and for them to heal themselves. Because isn't that why we're here? We're here to help ourselves, but we're here to help others in any way we can possible. And so if we can help our fellow man in a better way, then why wouldn't we want to do that? And so the fact that he's had this awakening and came to these realizations, and it's only made his practice better and stronger and more powerful, and he's able to heal more people. And wow, I mean, that's what life is about. That's what life is about. But he wouldn't be able to do that if he didn't have this awakening, if he didn't have this realization. And he doesn't just believe, he knows. He has a very deep knowingness that love is the only thing that's real. The unconditional love is the only thing that's real, and everything else is an illusion. He knows that. And he brings that to the table now for people. And I applaud him, and I applaud others like him, because that's where we're at, and that's what it takes now more than ever in our lives to do the great work, because this is all about the great work. Jesus was doing the great work. All the great prophets, they're doing the great work. Now we have a lot of modern day prophets that probably don't get a lot of recognition, but they're out there. They're doing the great work. And that's what it is. It's being in alignment with your divine purpose, knowing who you are, being true to yourself, loving yourself, giving yourself that unconditional love, and empowering yourself, stepping in the footsteps of your own power fearlessly, right, with perfect love in your heart, so that you can offer this to others, so that you can in turn empower others, so that they can in turn empower others, and onward it goes. That's the great work. That's the truth. That's the truth right there. That is my great truth in my life, but it's also the truth of why we're all here. And I've always known that. I've always known that, and I'm here sharing this with you so that maybe you will have a deeper realization about your own life, and maybe you already think about some of these things, or maybe not. And again, maybe you're just learning about some of these things, but either way, it's empowering knowledge. It's empowering spiritual information that you can apply practically to your everyday life, And again, I'm giving a broad overview of a lot of things in this video, a lot of high level spiritual concepts in this video that I promise in future videos, I'm going to deconstruct, and I'm going to go through, and I'm going to explain a lot of what I'm talking about. And of course, in as layman terms as I can possibly explain them, so that you can learn and really truly grow from all this information that I'm giving you. So thank you for hanging in there. Hopefully I'm not just talking over everyone, but I also feel very guided to do this, and so I know those who are ready for this information are going to be guided to this information. So those who are ready, the teacher appears, and for the teacher, the students appear as well. So all good things. But I'm always continually fascinated with the awakenings that I've had in my own life, and how profound they've been, and how much they've changed my life. And it's just to see others awakening to this great truth of existence is wonderful, because it's further validates the path that I'm on. Not that I need the validation, but it's nice to have that realization that, hey, yes, I'm going through what I'm going through for a very good reason, and I've gone through what I've gone through for a very good reason, and here I am. And I get to look at my progress, and I get to see, wow, this is amazing. I've transformed my life, and I'm continuing to transform my life, for not only myself, but for everyone around me, for my family, for my loved ones, for my community, for the world at large. So I'm very grateful. I give thanks every day. I thank the One for my many blessings and everything that has happened to me in my life. And when we truly begin to see all of life through the eyes of love, we fully realize that there are no supposed bad experiences, that everything we've gone through has been just a grand learning experience. It's happened so that we could grow to become who we really came here to be, so that we could be empowered again to help empower others, so that I can be here talking to you right now the way I'm talking to you. Because I'll tell you right now, I wasn't ready to do this even 2 months ago. I wasn't ready to do this a month ago. I wasn't ready to do this 3 months ago. I mean, my life has transformed significantly in the past just 7 short months. 7 short months. A phenomenal, amazing, fantastic, miracle transformation. If I told you where I was 7 months ago, you probably wouldn't believe me. If I told you what I was going through 7 months ago, again, you might not believe me. But that's a video for another time. I've been through a lot in my life. But again, it's all been a blessing, because it's brought me to where I am today, right here, and it's made me who I am. And We are all, the truth is, we are all very beautiful, spiritual, powerful people. Very sacred people. These are the truths that they, right? Everything outside of yourself, anything outside of yourself that doesn't want you to know who you really are, they want you to forget about. They do not want you to remember about. You are so wonderful, so magnificent, so just unbelievably head over heels, gorgeous, beautiful people. I cannot reiterate that enough. How magnificent we are as a people, as beings, as spiritual beings having a human experience here on this earth. We are so very sacred, so very loved, so very revered by those who have helped create us, and by those who watch over us, the angels, our guides, our higher self. We are so loved to a level that we can barely imagine, barely fathom how much love that there is. I had another dream. This was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. No, maybe 5 years ago now. This dream was fascinating too. A very, again, lucid, vivid dream. Now, when I talk about lucid dreams, I am talking about lucid dreaming, where you awake in your dream, you realize you're dreaming, you even say to yourself, this is a dream, and you have full control over the dream. So, again, very lucid and vivid dream, but the lucid dreams that I've had, I allow to continue. I allow to kind of naturally unfold without taking control, even though I know I could take control over the dream. So this was one of those dreams. And in this dream, I died. I was dead. I died, and I had moved beyond this physical third-dimensional shell. And I felt the perfect love, the perfect, pure, clean, unconditional love that exists on the other side. Now, the veil is very thin these days, guys, and I'm making this video during the Lion's Gate. This is a very, very special time in the solar cycle, in our year, our solar year. And this is a time when there's a massive amount of light and love pouring down upon the earth. So I'm launching my channel, and I'm doing this very, very special video during this very magical time in our solar year for a reason. All I felt in this dream was that pure, powerful, and magic, unconditional love. There was no anger, there was no fear, there was no hate, there was no suffering, there was nothing of an petty ego nature. Now, ego is not a bad thing. It's just that here on this earth plane, our ego controls a massive amount in our life, unfortunately. You can have a very healthy ego in this life and have a very positive ego in this life. And that's a good thing. Most people's, the average person out there, their ego is not balanced. It's unhealthy, unfortunately. So when I talk about pettiness, I'm talking about mostly the dark side of the ego, the unhealthy, the unbalanced ego. So it's just amazing what I felt. And I just was free. I was free not only of this body, this physical shackle, But I was free of all of that. I was free of all that stuff. I was free of all that negative, any negative emotion, anything that was heavy and dense of a lower vibrational nature. I was free of it. I was completely free. I was just in the ethereal plane. I was just floating, literally, and I saw myself outside of myself, and I was floating above everything. And all I felt in my heart was the love, the unconditional love that I ever felt for all of my loved ones, for everybody, for anybody who's ever touched my life. That's all that was left, was that perfect love. And it was the most amazing, fantastic, powerful dream. It just, and again, when I woke from that dream, it just gave me another deep realization and sense of myself and who I really am and why I'm really here, but also of the fact, the knowingness that I have, the real truth of this life and this world and why we're here, and the truth of unconditional love and the power of it and what we can do with it, and how we can use it to transform our lives, transform everything about ourselves and our relationships and our whole world, right? Because if you know about paradigms and belief systems, then you know that when you change your paradigm, when you change your perspective, your belief system about something, everything changes. Everything else changes around you, right? Because the universe rearranges itself to accommodate your perception of reality. That's the truth. And that's a paradigm in itself, right? That's what a paradigm is. It's your perception of reality. So when your perception is significantly transformed and changed, all of life changes around you. And that's the secret, no pun intended, to the law of attraction. Those who know about the law of attraction know about the secret. So it's a movie made specifically about this one universal law, and there's many universal laws that exist, but this one is a very powerful one. And we basically, it says that we attract that which we are. Man does not attract that which he wants in life. Man attracts what he is. When I say man, I'm talking about everybody, guys, gals, don't freak out, okay? All inclusive here. We get what is in our heart. Like attracts like. Opposites don't attract. We attract who we are to ourselves. So if we're attracting negative people, negative experiences, negative events, negative things in general into our lives, we need to look within ourselves, because we are attracting that stuff. We're all magnetic. We are electromagnetic here in this third dimensional plane of existence. There's electricity and magnetism mixed together, and that's what our field is made out of. So we have an auric field, and that field is electromagnetic. So we are giant magnets walking around. And we attract to ourselves that which we are putting out. The energy we're putting out. We're going to attract those people, those places, those things, those events, those circumstances all into our lives. If we are putting out the positive, loving, unconditional energy, if we are giving that to ourselves, and that's what we're feeding ourselves with, then that's what we are going to attract more of into our life. It's just that simple. We are resonating, we are vibrating at a certain frequency, and we are going to get more of that. And so that whole dream was about just simply being free of not only the electromagnetic body and this field and this dense earth plane, but it was also being free of the negativity, of the dense, lower vibrational energy that comes with having a negative ego, an unhealthy ego, an unbalanced ego. So that's what I felt. And when you remove all of that, when you remove that lower vibrational, dense energy and that stuff, what is left is the purity of who we really are and our being. The purity of who we really are and our true self, our being, who we really came here to be, that is our birthright. That's a big one, guys. That's our birthright. We have come here specifically to experience life at its fullest. But we cannot do that if we are bogged down with a bunch of low vibrational negative energy. We can't be our true selves, who we really came here to be. So that happens through trapped karma from past lives, through trapped karma from this present life experience. But as we work through our karma, that energy, and release that negative energy, we are freed. We are freed to be who we really came here to be. We're freed to hold more of a love vibration, more of a higher frequency of that light energy, that love vibration within us. And as we are able to hold more and more of that love vibration, we resonate at a higher frequency, a higher vibrational rate. And as we do that, we naturally are able to easily attract that which we really truly not only want in our lives, but that which we are in our lives. That's the beauty of having unconditional love in your heart and having that as a state of being. That's a natural birthright. That's our natural state of being. The lie is everything opposite. So everything that's out there that they are telling you that we're naturally violent species and we're naturally warring species and all this other crap that's out there is the lie. The truth is what I've been talking to you about. The truth is we are unconditionally loving, all-powerful, infinite beings, spiritual beings, having a human experience. That's the truth. We've come here to be free. We have not come here to be slaves. We have not come here to be slaves to the clock, not slaves to money, not slaves to a tyrannical government, not slaves to tyrannical laws. We have not come here to be slaves. We have come here to be a free people, together, collectively, in unity, in true unity, and peace, and harmony. And we've come here to work together in peace and harmony and in unity for all of mankind, to help free each of ourselves, to help free our brothers and sisters from the enslavement that has gone on this planet for far too long. There's a negative power structure that is failing. It's not failing fast enough, but it is failing because it cannot exist within such a high vibrational frequency field. And it's failing because of the Great Awakening. It's failing because of the great work that we're all doing. It's failing because it shouldn't exist anyway. But it exists for its own purposes, for a good reason in itself. So that is what it is. But it's amazing. It's just amazing and fascinating to me that I have learned so much, and I still have a lot to learn. But these dreams have been guiding me my whole life, and these dreams come from the One, come from Source, come from the angels, come from my guides, come from my higher self. These dreams come from deep within us, to help empower us, to guide us, so that, again, to free us, so we know more about ourselves, so that we know ourselves better. So beyond the dream and that full realization that we are just supposed to be that pure, unconditional love energy, that's our natural state. That's amazing to me and fascinating that that's our natural state, and our natural, supposed to be the natural flow of things for us here, in our lives and here on this earth. That's all we're supposed to feel. We're not supposed to feel fear. There's not supposed to be any fear, and everything else that comes from fear. We're not supposed to be feeling those things, because when we feel those things, instantly we're out of alignment. We know instantly we're out of alignment. The second doubt creeps in, doubt comes from fear, right? The second anger creeps in, anger comes from fear, right? Hatred, anger, all suffering comes from fear, which is the opposite end of the spectrum. There's a grand spectrum, and everything else you can feel in between. Well, you have unconditional love on one end, and you have fear on the other end. So that's why those in power have used fear for so many years, for so many eons, because it's worked well for them, because they've gotten a lot of results that they've wanted through the use of fear. Because if they can keep us in fear of ourselves, fear of each other, right, through our petty, through capitalizing on our petty differences and whatever else, race, sexuality, whatever you want to, bring up and think of, if they can keep us divided through fear, they've won. They've won. It's that simple. It's that simple. But if we are empowered within ourselves, if we are empowered and we know who we really are, then there's nothing they can do. They've lost. They've lost. They've simply lost. They have no power. Their power is through fear. So if we are taking that out of the equation and we are just these unconditionally loving, imbued, empowered beings, then there's nothing that they can do. They have no power over us. We are free then. Truly, truly free. And we are free in every moment of every day, as free as we want to be. We are free eternally. That's another birthright. We have only come here to experience bliss, joy, ecstasy, love, reverence for life. That's our birthright. All of those things and more are our birthright. That's the natural order of things. And everything else is the opposite. And everything else goes against all of creation. And anything that goes against creation, guys, it's not real. It's not healthy. It's not what we came here to experience. It's fear-based. We are all powerful and we are free in every moment. Now, till eternity, through eternity. We are beautiful, spiritual beings, have a human experience, and there is so much more to life than most of us realize. And I know the things that I know, but I also don't know what I don't know. And I'm happy to say that I don't know everything, because I don't. And I don't want to know everything. I love learning. I love experiencing life. I love learning new things. I love having new realizations, deeper realizations about the things that I am learning about. But that's the journey. That's the grand journey. It never ends. We are always continually learning about ourselves and each other. And that's why we're here, guys and gals. That's why we're here. We're here to empower each other. We're here to uplift each other. We're here to inspire each other. We're here to love one another as the great prophets have loved us unconditionally. And that was their message. That was their message. They had a great message, and that was the message. That was their beautiful message, to love one another unconditionally, forever and ever. I'm going to end this video. I want to thank you so much for being here with me. If you like this video, like it, share it if you want to share it. But I want to make one thing clear. I am not here for money. I am not here to make a dime off of YouTube, off of any subscribers. I'm not here to even gain subscribers. I don't care about that. I care about you. I care about you. I care about your well-being. I care about humanity in general as a whole, and I care about all of us. And it's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to be a messenger and to give you this information. In the future videos, I promise I will deconstruct a lot of the high spiritual level concepts that I brought in this video, and I will bring more videos to you so that you will learn even more about who you really are and why you're really here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for my many blessings. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Thank you. All the best. All the best.